Yes. Okay. I just want to quickly revise one thing for you. As you know how a flow will work, firstly with partner A, okay, will send a
Okay.
file in EDI format. EDI format. Okay. Via
Okay.
AS2 or SFTP, which you got it. Am I right? How you can create.
Yeah.
Have you created AS2 certificate, AS2 connection last time, which I referred you?
Yeah. I created a AS2 certificate here.
Okay. AS2 or SFTP. Okay. Whatever it
Mhm.
is. Now, after that, we receive the file in our system. We do de-enveloping. De-enveloping, am I right?
Yeah. I think you said I have to look it again here.
Okay. De-enveloping, we have not yet started. Okay. No issue. We'll do this first, then we go on mapping concept. After de-enveloping, we do translation. After translation, we send the file to ERP. This is the flow. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
And vice versa. How vice versa will work? ERP, after ERP, okay, translation, then enveloping, then AS2 or SFTP, then partner. Got it? This is the
Yeah,
flow.
got it.
Now we'll first look what is enveloping. Okay. So here trading partner, in trading partner,
Recording
envelopes
live.
and envelope.
Right.
Here we create envelopes. I think Shweta also joined.
Yeah.
Hi Shweta.
Yeah, hi,
Yeah.
I am
So
Jan.
yeah, I just given few things. Okay. Sorry, Rohit. I just want to quickly introduce about this flow again.
Okay,
So
you can
Shweta,
do it again.
yeah, Shweta, as you are aware already how a flow works. First is partner. Partner send a file in EDI format. Okay, via AS2 or SFTP.
Yeah,
Then de-enveloping happens.
yeah,
After de-enveloping is translation. Then ERP. Okay.
yeah,
Then ERP send the file, then we translate the file, then enveloping, and we send the EDI format to partner. Okay. This is the flow, and you both are aware from it. Correct?
yeah,
So
it's
yeah. So now coming on the point again. So in SI, first part AS2 and SFTP connection. Now part 2 is enveloping. Okay. In trading partner, there is a document. In document, there is a envelopes. Okay. As you know, I think in a file for how a file looks like. Let me show you a file. Generally, a file looks like this: ISA, GS, and ST. We need to create three envelopes. Agree? For a single transaction.
Yes.
Okay. For example, I'm just giving you an example for which for the cost. This is the partner. Okay. For this partner, we have created this ISA. In ISA, we mention sender ID, receiver ID. Okay. And this is for production or not test indicator. Okay. This information we fill it here. Apart from that, in 850 GS, we identify what is the functional code of this sender ID and receiver ID of partner and R. Okay. And the version details also in GS level. Next, ST. In ST, we define same sender ID and receiver ID. It's loading. Okay. This is the sender ID, receiver ID we define. After defining, we define the transaction set code. Like if it is an 850, we define here 850. If it is a 860, we define 860, whatever the transaction is. Okay. And the group read version also. What is the version we want to use? And that's all. In 8ST, we also define the map name. Okay. For translation. What is map? Map is a kind work as a translator which we use to translate one format to another format. For example, in this condition, we are translating EDI to flat file or IDOC or flat file to EDI, kind of that. Okay. Now, how we create the envelopes? There's a few method to creating envelopes. Method number one: generally, when you create envelopes, you will get any partner reference. So you will just come and search the partner name and we will click here copy. After copy, you will click here. Then you will define the name, whatever it is. Okay. After defining the name, you need to give the description. Okay. After description, you need to modify the sender ID and receiver ID as per your requirement. Okay. Like this, you need to check the where you are creating it is for production and test environment according to your requirement. Okay. And next you need to click on here next next. No need to change anything. Okay. And you just need to click on finish. Your envelope will be ready. Okay. This is the one method to create envelope. Okay. Apart from that, there is another method. If you don't have any reference, you are going to create envelope from scratch. You need to come here and click go here. After click go, you need to define which format you want to create. For example, we are going to create NCXL. In NCXL, you both know there are few transactions like first ISA envelope we create, then GS, then ST. So as this both are divided by outbound and inbound. Okay, this is how they are divided. Then we click on next. No need to define the base envelope. Same, we define the name here. Okay. Sorry. By mistakenly, I click on cancel. Okay. Here we define the sender ID, receiver ID. Okay. After defining the sender ID, receiver ID, here we define the mainly is test indicator. Okay. Which is it is production test, and if you will select any indicator, it will run in both of them. Okay. And after that you will click next, and next you are able to create the envelope. That's how we create the envelope. Okay. You always need to remember few things. Step number one, for one partner, if they are using same sender ID, okay, so this is inbound, same sender ID, so you need to create only one ISA, okay, and two rare on their transaction. For example, partner is ABC, okay. For ABC, we'll create one ISA, okay, and partner wants to enable few transactions like 850 as a inbound and 860 also as a inbound. Okay. So in this scenario, we'll create only one ISA. Okay. And we'll create GS for 850 and ST for 850. And in ST we define map name. Okay. One more thing is same, we'll use 860, one GS, like GS for 860 and ST for 860, and we'll define the map in 860. So the conclusion is, for inbound flow, we need to create only one ISA, and as per the transaction, we need to create one GS and one ST. And same for outbound. For example, we have 856 and 810 setup. We need to create 5 envelope only. Okay, like this. ISA will be same because we are using for same one partner. The partner name is ABC. Okay. And sender ID, receiver ID is also same. And in ST, we define the map name. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Any doubts in enveloping? What is envelope? So envelope, if I say you in general scenario, what is envelope? Envelope is a process in which we define the sender ID and receiver ID of a partner in a particular scenarios. Also, we define their interchange points and group changing points. Okay. Any doubts for enveloping? Hello,
No doubts.
Sweta?
No.
Okay. Now we'll move for mapping part. Okay. So for mapping, I will tell you few things first, then we can start. Okay. Let me. So one thing, from where we use this tool, first thing. Here we use trading partner and enveloping. In this, we come in deployment. Okay. In deployment, there is a section known as maps. Okay. In maps, we generally download the map editor. After downloading, we install in our system, and this will open like this. Okay. After installing, we need to create the map. For example, if we want to create new map here, NEW, okay, we just and now after for creation the new map, we need to define two types of format. Okay, for example, first format is let's suppose it is the EDI right side, then the left side will be uh positional. Okay, next, next. So this is how our new maps will be created. Okay, in new map we generally don't need to create like this. We take always reference and use the those DDF. Okay, so I will tell you few things. Generally, this we call root, the input and output. Okay, we map inbound input side to output side. Like right side is target, left side it is source. Okay, so here we generally create group first. Wait. In this group we create segment. In the segment, because it is an EDI. Okay, in EDI file we always read document as a segment, as I show you, like ISA, GS, ST. So ISA. Okay. Now in this we define element. So this is the element. For example, ISA one we can define. In this we generally need to define few things. Is the number of it is a string, number, date. Okay, and if it the string type which type of string we want to use. Okay, and the minimum use and maximum use. Okay, if we click here, so this particular field will be a mandatory block. Okay, so like in input, if this field is not available, we will receive a error. Okay, so you can see this kind of things we do. In output, same it is, we create a group and okay, in the group we create a record. In record we needs to define the output segment. Okay, for example, EDI. So in this now we insert field. Okay, AB. Oh, I say. Also we need to here also we need to define the validation, like number of character 10, string. Okay, it is mandatory or not. Okay, we need to click. Then so as I said you, this is a positional file. So we need to define the position of like a number, enter the position which is where from the record needs to begin. Okay, first thing. Then where we want this data. For example, we use tag 3. So we use 4 and here we come 10 because this contains maximum is 10. Okay. Why we use 3? Because we have already defined here a tag value is 3. So it is a 3 character. Okay. Length of this tag is 3. After this, we need to map input to output side. How we do this input to output? Here the toggle link. Generally we click here. After this, we just drag this. While not billing because the input is deeper than the this is showing this. Wait, we need to define the looping, minimum looping. We are defining both of the side. And this is the unlink button. When we click here, this will be unlinked. Still, it will show. So in general scenario, we don't need to create the group. We don't need to create the segment. We don't need to create the field. Okay. We create group segment and field for temp variables. Okay. Temp field and temporary group and temporary segment and temporary field. Okay. So this is how we need to do the simple linking. Now I will show you one live open map. I don't want to save. No. So this is how a production map actually looks like. Okay. So this is, let me, I want to recall few things from both of you. So what we call this, Rohit, Shweta?
850 purchase order.
No. In map, we call this route. Okay. This both are
Yeah.
route. Okay. In route, you can see this is what we call this ISA.
Segment.
Okay. And what we call this group. Okay. When you will click on this and click on properties, you are able to read this is the group. Okay. Same in the output side. This is the we call as record. Okay. And here in record we call as group. Okay. Group is same both of the side. In EDI we use segment. In flat file or idoc we call as record. Okay. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Now I will show you how this all we get it. Okay. How we use and how we extract this file as per in R map. Okay. So there is a simple and sorted method. We just need to right click here. When we right click here, we got the option save file definition as. Okay. We will click save file definition as. After clicking, so we got this as a output. We save this structure. We we call this structure as data definition file. Okay. We'll do the same here. Okay. So this is the step one. Now, if we want to create the same map, 851, one new 850 map we want to create, what we do is we just click here. We'll define the 850 new. Okay. whatever the name you want it, you can give. After that, we click on load data format from the saved definition. We click and browse here. Okay. After browsing, we open this. And we give this input. Okay. Same we do this side. Now you can see we have created the new map with 850. Okay. And we have imported the input structure and output structure. Got this flow? How we are importing the flow structure?
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Got
And the structure input structure we call and output this structure will call data definition file. Okay. This is the one way to extract the file. Okay. So generally how and what we do and why we needs to do this. Okay. So let's suppose in our condition there is a we have this already. If we are not having this, keep it handy with us. We need to create it by manually, or we can extract if by using XSD. How we can do by using XSD? Let me show you again. So I will click again new. Okay. Uh, Next, we create a new file definition format using this segment. Wait. uh, For example, this is the EDI. Okay. Next. Wait. We need to download the standards. Give me a second. In maps, there is a one more thing standard. Okay. Now I need to download this go keep. Okay. Why it is taking too much time? Okay. It will take little bit time. While this will do one more thing. Okay. So some of the times what we do, we want a message type. Okay. Like this is the 850 structure we have. We want any 860 or any EDI structure. We need to click here. After clicking, will next within EDI we want after EDI. So currently standard is not we are having it. That's why it is showing this error. Okay. I will show you later how this will work. For now, like I'm just defining this. This will also show the same. Next. Now I will show you one more thing. This is for EDI. Okay. Like for this, we can select the EDI. If I don't have the EDI, if I am having XML, okay, I need to customize there. I need to ask a schema file from the SAP, and I will import that schema file in our system. For example, I will show you a schema file. Okay, but then I will click next. Then we need to get the option. This is the root element. Okay, next, 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 next. So now input file you can see blank, but output file you can see this is the root and this is the XML thing. Okay, got it?
Yeah, got it.
So this is the one another way to extract the get the DDF. Okay. After downloading this one, I will show you how to why is it downloaded? No. Okay, after 1 minute, like after downloading, I will show you how to extract the EDI format. Okay, save. So this is the one part. Okay, now second part. Now you got the input structure and output structure. You are having it. Okay, and this now you need to map input to output. Okay, on what basis you will do the mapping? First question. Okay. And question number two, what you will use, like what different codes and what and where you need to map. Okay. For example, 850. So we receive few things from the partner. Let's suppose this is a partner. Partner name is Vistar. Okay. They wants to enable a 850 transaction with us. Okay. So they will share their this document. This is the document in which they have mentioned this is their sender ID and every segment details. Okay. Apart from this, they will give us a input file. Let me open uh, their input file. Okay. Now this is their input file, and we need to map this data. Okay. Because till ISA, GS, and ST, we have all we de-envelope this. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how we do the further mapping? For example, we have this structure. We have this structure inbound. Now, you can see BG. Let me open the BG. There is the BG. Okay. BG 00. BG 0 we want to that is name as transaction set purpose code. Okay. So I will show you an EDI every letter having some meaning. Okay. Here is a guideline in BG. So if BG01 is 00 means this document is an original document. Okay. Okay. Original document means this purchase order is sending first time. Okay. Now we'll map this to message type as per the requirement. Okay. So also we have write if BG is 06, that will be a order change message type will be. Okay. Now further on, you can see purchase order number. Okay. So we map purchase order number to the output side. Let me show you the. So how we got to know where we need to map it output side. So this we receive a sheet from our ERP team. Okay, that sheet looks like this. This type sheet we receive from the ERP team. They will let us know what and what things we need to do. For example, hmm, 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 let me see you the DTM now. For example, we want to map this date time reference to the output. Okay. So in this, we receive three different logics. First, if DTM01 is 002. Okay. If I will show you in input file, if DTM is 002, it means it is a delivery requested date. Okay. If the code is 010 means requested ship. If the code is 118, requested pickup date. Okay. So here we define the code, it will change accordingly. Can you give me 1 minute? Yeah. Hello. So where I was saying, so according to DTM, this code will date means that mean actual meaning of date will be change. Okay. So now I will show you the same thing on the map. For example, so you can see this segment, this record is requested delivery date. You are able to see this? Hello?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Please keep the focus because it is a very important topic. Otherwise, you are not able to understand it, what actually has been done. Okay. So now you have received this sheet, and for this segment, they want requested delivery date. For this field, they want hard coding value 002, and DTM they want this. Whatever the date will come in DTM with this 002, they want this at DATUM field. Okay. Now, if same field they have received requested shipping date, they wanted 0010. Okay. Later on, they wanted 118. Okay. So this is the requirement we have received. Like if 002 will receive this will map accordingly. Okay. Now same thing how we'll do on the map and how it will work, I will show you. You got the requirement what we need to do? First question.
Yeah, we need to map the uh,
As
DATUM to DAT.
yeah, as per the whatever DTM we will receive. Okay. So currently we have received this DTM 002. So if I will show you in the map, this is already created map. So the logic is already written here. How we have you identify the current logic. So as you saw in the requirement, I dot 002. Okay. We need to map in requested delivery date. But in actually at our sign DTM is once. Okay. We are defining according to the this field of DTM, this qualifier. Okay. So now if 003 is 002, then we'll have created a temporary field, and this temporary will assign this. Okay. The date. Got it? Till here you got it? Hello?
Got it in there.
Yeah.
mm,
Same we have used for 010. Okay. And same we have used for this pickup date. I will tell you the pickup flag details later on. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So now suppose we have received 002, and now we need to map this to output. Okay. So this time delivery date as per the, you know, now we need to come here and look this segment E1 EDK 02. Okay. So here you can see this is the requested delivery date. We are map linking you process, you know very well. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. And in the qualifier, we just hard coded the position. So this is the standard rule we use to hard code. Use constant. After use will first we click on use constant. In use constant, we click on edit. We define one element, okay, whatever we wanted. We define their value and their type, and we'll select the same element there, and that particular value will be hard coded. Okay. And this date we have linked to input to output, which we have created. And one more important thing, when we use temp, like this temporary we have created to input to output mapping, we use triple dollar tag. Okay. Because it will not read anything from the input file. Okay. Apart from that, every segment having their own tag value. For example, DTM having their DTM, CUR, it will have their CUR tag. Okay. So that's how we identify the requirement and do the mapping. Got it? Same you can see here the requested shipment date, and this is the pickup date. Okay. This is generally it will works. And every time we need to write the logic here. After writing the logic, we need to compile. If something is missing, let's suppose it will show the error, a missing warning. As generally, if you have both have done Java and all, you are able to understand this. Got it?
Got it.
Yeah. After this compilation, we need to compile the whole map. How we compile the whole map? We just click here, compile. Okay. In compile desktop, you just compile the map. Okay. Wait, someone is calling me. Can you give me 1 second? Yeah. So we need to compile this. After compilation, our TXO file will be generated. Okay. So we need to use that TXO. So sorry. After this, we need to run the whole map. Okay. How we can run the whole map? Here is the SI map test. Okay. We define our host information. Both both got the access to your dashboard. So you will give the dashboard this and the code. This is the code we generally give, port number, okay, and the user ID and admin, which whatever you have give receive, you will use this. After this, you need to browse. Wait, you need to browse that translation object which you have got it by using compiled file txo. Okay, translation of object we called txo. Apart from that, we use the data file. Data file what? This is the data file we call. This is the input file we call data file. Okay. Now we can use the. After this, the next step will be we need to run the map. Wait, let me close this test. Now I will run this map. Sorry. So after running this map, you got your output. Okay, as per your file. So these are the. This is the output which we have received. Got it? And if some error will be there, we are able to get there. For example, now I am just doing some changes, okay, in the input file. Okay, I just modify this changes to show some error. Okay, and what error it will show, let me show you. So you can see this field is string 3 character. So this maximum can be hold only 3 character. Okay, and minimum also 3. So if this is condition is not very like works, so it will show a error. For example, now I will run same input file with this error. Okay, this modification will receive the error. Let me run it. So now you can see we are not, that mapping has been not done and we have received this error, data too long. Okay, where we data is too long in DTM segment. In DTM segment, this is the field name. Okay, so you have what is the data? This is the data which is too long. Okay, so that's how you need to identify the thing and solve it. You both are getting it?
Yes, got
Hello?
it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now let me change this again. As And let me run this test again. So as you both know, I just show you one logic regarding DTM 002. Okay. So we write this logic for this date. Okay. So let me find this date where it is. So we write this logic in this segment E2 EDK with 002 and the date. You can see in the output. Got it? So
Yes.
that's how you need to do the mapping. And this is the first part of mapping. Okay. Later on, I will explain you more. Like I will explain you all kind of rules which we use, all kind of different variables. Okay, all different types of standard rules. Okay, today I just show you one standard rule, how to hard code. Am I right? Which is
Yeah.
constant one. For example, this use constant. Yes, this is the those are values like 002 which we have defined or any other value which you wanted. You can do this. Okay. So later on, I will show you all types of different standard rules and extended rules. Now you can see in this we have just one more thing like any field we define in the extended rule from hashtag. Okay, field will define from hashtag and group will define from dollar. Okay, and root also. Okay, like if
Yes.
I want to write the input here. In some logic, if you want to write this, okay, this name. So we will define this from $850 dot hashtag whatever the field, okay, like DTM or XYZ, whatever it is, okay. That's how we need to write. So in today's session, we are able to get it, like how we can create new map, okay, different types of formats, how to compile the map, how to run the map, and what the things required to running the map, okay, and how to write a basic logic and one standard rule. Apart from that, if this is downloaded, yeah, as you can see, this is downloaded. Let me install this. So this is the EDI standard. Generally, we need to, if we want to extract any new format, we need to install this in our system. If we don't have any reference for those things, okay. Okay, by mistakenly, I now I have just installed. Now I will again show you to create new map. Okay. Next, in input file, we want to define. We'll just come here in EDI, delimited EDI and sexual. After clicking the message, next in EDI, next. Now you want to choose what you want, like artifact or that. X12. Okay. After this, you need to choose the version. Okay. We already talk about version like 4010, 5010, these details. Got it? For example, now I just selected 5010. After this, I got the number of transaction, like what transaction I want to use. For example, you aware from these are different types of transaction. Okay. 856 you both aware, am I right? We'll just click next and this finish. After this, we'll click next and root. We are just defining anything like any CSV. So now you can see this is the format we have got it 856 format. So this all format will be disabled. You can see these all are disabled, not disabled, inactive. Okay. So whatever the format, like whatever the segment you want to use, you just come here. For example, if you want to use LIN, okay, you will come here and activate this. Okay. So from here you can activate. One another method to activate the transaction is this is the toggle activated mode. When you will click this, okay, and whatever the function segment you will open like this, you are able to, like in this, if you want this like this, you are able to activate it. Okay, got it?
Got it.
Yeah. So this is how if you want to get any new format. Okay. Generally, we got the reference and we use all old maps only. Okay. And for ERP, like for the target side, or we use the old DDF, or we can use, we can ask the ERP, share their XSD. Okay. So that's how we do. Any doubts still here?
No doubts.
No.
Okay. So now I will share you one map to both of them.